Hi friends, I have a story to share with you today. I hope you can see it. It's called Papa's Mechanical Fish. The author is Candace Fleming. The illustrator is Boris Kulikov. This story is by Candace Fleming. My class, we read a story called The Giant Squid, I think it was called. It was also by Candace Fleming. That was a nonfiction story that gave lots of information about squid. This story is a fiction story, but it's based on a real person and some real things that he did. So I think Candace Fleming really enjoys nonfiction. But again, this is a fictional story, but it is based on a real person and some real things he did. So here we go. Papa's Mechanical Fish. Oh wait, I did want to show you one more thing. Papa's. We talked about singular possessive nouns. So papa's. Is there more than one papa? Is that why there's an S there? Nope. Papa's is singular possessive. The mechanical fish belongs to Papa. So it's Papa's apostrophe S. Papa's fish. All right, here we go. Papa's mechanical fish. That's an interesting picture. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. It looks like a real fish, but it's got a little bit of mechanical going on here. I wonder what that's about. All right, here we go. This is my Papa. And this is his backyard workshop where he spends his days thinking, tinkering, and inventing things. Hear that? Clink, clankety bang, thump, whir. That's the sound of Papa at work. Clink, clankety bang, thump, whir. I love Papa's face. He is hard at work. Sometimes Papa tries inventing helpful things, like collapsible coat hangers that are easy to store. Sometimes he tries inventing unusual things, like edible socks. No, thank you. And sometimes he tries inventing playful things that only just don't work, like steam-powered roller skates. He forgot to put the brakes on. Oops. Look at that picture. But not once has Papa invented anything that works perfectly. I will someday, Papa tells me. All I need is a fantastic idea. But fantastic ideas are not easy to come by. So Papa twiddles his tools and pulls his hair. He racks his brain, sighs and stares until one day he throws down his screwdriver. Enough thinking, he cries. Who wants to go fishing? He twiddles, pulls his hair, thinks and throws down. And look at this character. Can you see it? I do, I holler. Me too, says my brother Surreal. Don't forget me, adds our sister Mary. My dada, squeals the baby Wilhelmina. Woo, barks the bulldog Rex. So I'm so glad I brought along these poles, says Mama. So they've got the whole family. Looks like a lighthouse down here too. We all troop out to the lighthouse pier and drop our lines into Lake Michigan. Plop, 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 plop. Lake Michigan? Papa, I say as we wait for a bite, have you ever wondered what it's like to be a fish? A fish, he mutters. A fish? Uh-oh, squeals the baby. Papa's pole clatters to the pier. He leaps to his feet. He whirls me around. Verena, you're brilliant, he whoops. Then he is gone, racing back over the sand dunes to his workshop. So, do you think he has a fantastic idea? I wonder what it is. I like this picture too. You can see below the water and above the water. Clink, clinkety bang, thump, whir, ta-da, cries Papa a few weeks later. He opens his workshop doors to reveal. What is it, I ask? It's an underwater vessel, he explains, a mechanical fish. I will dive like a salmon. I will glide like a trout. Papa's mechanical fish is so small he barely fits inside. You see him? Barely fits inside. Trying to get the glare off there. It has a tube sticking out of the top so he can breathe. It has a pole sticking out of the bottom so he can push himself along the lake floor. I call it the whitefish, he says. But will it work? So here we have a bit of a diagram of his invention. We've talked about diagrams. Whitefish 1. A, this is, see the line there? This is the tube for breathing. B, the pole to push along the lake floor. So there's a diagram. We keep our fingers crossed. Goodbye, Papa. We wave. Farewell, family. He waves back. Then the whitefish is launched. Sploosh. But I wonder what the but is. But glub, glub, glub. What do you think happened? Papa swims back to the pier. It almost worked, he said. Look at his eyes. Look at the dog. Almost, I agree. I think for a minute and then ask Papa, how do fish move through the water? With their tails, says Cyril. With their fins, adds Mary. Fishy go, squeals the baby. Woof, barks Rex. I'm so glad I brought along this towel, says Mama, and she wraps it around Papa's shoulders. But he is too deep in thought to notice. What do you think he's thinking? What about all those things they just mentioned? He's too deep in thought to notice. And clink, clinkety bang, thump, whir, behold the white fish too. Here's our new diagram. A, he's got a fin. B, he's got a propeller. C, he's got a second seat. Looks like a kitchen chair. Whitefish 2. It's big enough for 2 people to sit in. It has a wooden fin on top and a wooden propeller in the back. Papa pedals it like a bicycle to make it go. Goodbye, Papa, we wave. Farewell, family, he waves back. Then the Whitefish 2 is launched. Sploosh. It dives below the surface. Swoosh. But I wonder what's going to go wrong. Crack, drip, splinter, rip. Papa bobs to the surface. It almost worked, he hollers to us. Almost, I holler back. I think again and then ask, Papa, how do fish stay dry? With special skin. With special skin? Asked Cyril. With scales? Asked Mary. No pee-pee, squeals the baby. Woof, barks Rex. I'm so glad I brought along this life preserver, says Mama, and she tosses it to Papa. But he is too deep in thought to notice. And what do you think he's thinking about now? I love this. When you have a problem, you have to ask yourself questions to figure out a solution. Whoa, look at that diagram. Clink, clankety bank, thump, whir. Behold the whitefish 3. Whitefish 3. It's got lots of parts. I'm looking for A. I see D, B, C. There's A, E. All right, it's big enough for 3 people to sit in. It has a plunger to make it go up and down. It has a steering wheel to make it go left and right. It has levers instead of pedals, and it's covered in waterproof copper. Goodbye, Papa, we wave. Farewell, family, he waves back. And then the Whitefish 3 is launched. Sploosh. It dives. Swoosh. It chugs beneath the waves. Clackety, clackety, clackety. But crump. Papa clings to the buoy. It almost worked, he says, minutes later as we pull him into the rowboat. Almost, I say. I think some more and then ask Papa, how do a fish know where they're going? Can they see underwater, asks Cyril. Do they have good eyes, adds Mary. Peekaboo, squeals the baby. Woof, barks Rex. I'm so glad I brought along these oars, says Mama, and she rows towards shore. But Papa is too deep in thought to notice. Boy, I definitely say Papa has grit. Does he ever give up? He just keeps trying and trying. Do you think he's going to figure this out and figure out a solution to all these problems? Now, he barricades himself in his workshop. He blocks himself in. Nobody can get in. They're all peeking. Clink, clankety, bang, thump, whir. He does not come out. Thunk, clunk, whack. We cannot go in. Tap, tap. He even covers the window so we can't peek. Zap. What's the big secret, I ask? Wait and see, Papa says. Wait and see. Clink, clankety, bang, thump, whir. At last, he flings wide the workshop doors. Surprise! Ooh, we gasp. Ah! The Whitefish 4 is big enough for 7 people to sit in. It has an air cooling system, an air compression system, an air purifying system. It has a steam boiler to run the engine and a battery to run the headlights. It has velvet carpeting and comfortable chairs. Along its length are a dozen portholes. Papa grins. Who wants to go for a ride? I do, I whoop. Me too, says Cyril. Don't forget me, adds Mary. Go bye-bye, squeals the baby. Woof, barks Rex. I'm so glad I brought along this lunch, says Mama. Mama is always prepared. One by one, we drop down through the hatch. Then Papa seals it behind us, takes his place at the controls, and sploosh, swoosh, clackety, clackety, clack. Wow! There's room for everybody. Hours later, we rise to the surface. We glide to the beach. We spread out a blanket and feast on ham sandwiches. Papa, I say between mouthfuls, that idea was absolutely, positively fantastic. Brilliant, says Cyril. Clever, adds Mary. Yay, squeals the baby. Woof, barks Rex. I'm so glad you brought me along, says Mama, and she gives Papa a big, big smooch. Then a seagull flies overhead. I toss it my bread crust. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a bird? I ask. A bird, Papa mutters. A bird. Uh-oh, squeals the baby. What do you think is going to happen next? Do you think there could be a to be continued book? Did he ever give up? No, he did not. Clink, clinkety, bang, thump, whir. And there's Papa, headed back to his workshop. All right, so great story. I love this story. Here at the end, it talks a little bit about, I'm not going to read it all, but it talks a little bit about a real man named Ladner Phillips, and he really did take his wife and children for an afternoon excursion beneath the waves of Lake Michigan. So he really did build what is like a submarine in 1851. All right, very cool story. Thanks for listening. And I hope you enjoyed that story. And looking forward to seeing everybody. Go find yourself a book and read a book too. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.